lineman, Vincent Ellis, up here right now. Coach, you want to just open things up and just kind of talk about how the game went for you guys, how you're feeling right now?
I'll use the mic. I usually don't need it. I feel fantastic. I mean, it's this program's come an awful long way in the short 10 years that we've been in existence. This has been a season of first for us, certainly, and we didn't want that just to be a chance to play in the playoffs. We wanted to make sure that we had an opportunity to, have our first win in the playoffs and to have home field advantage and have a week off and really get to spend a bunch of time with one another over the holiday break and come out and play the way we did and stay together in a tough game against a really good opponent. I just couldn't be more proud of this program and this team.
Questions?
Mike, were you tempted to go for it on fourth down 14-10, but then it worked out perfectly the way you guys got 3 and out? But just take me through your mindset there.
No, I thought with the way the defense had been playing at that point in the game, I was maybe a little aggressive. I would have been probably kicking myself if things not worked out for us earlier in the third quarter. But it's the playoffs and you only get one chance. And I took a chance, run the fake field goal in the third, and at that point there was, I think, roughly just under 6 minutes left in the game. We've been playing pretty strong defensively. We had all 3 timeouts. I felt like it was important to get the points at that point.
Hey, Markus, can you just take me through that play? Can you describe, it looked like a crossing pattern that kind of turned into a post. And, has that been a play you guys have run a lot? And just kind of describe that play.
Actually, yeah, we ran against Wesleyan. And, we had the same results, touchdown. And before the play, we got the play in. Zeke on Kennedy's like, Markus, let's go play. I'm like, bet. Ball snapped, boom, came across the middle. I was like, oh, all the defense is going to corner on the post. So I was like, oh, bet. Went up the seam, wide open, perfect ball by Brim, touchdown. Win.
What was that feeling like?
It was amazing. I thank God for everything. And the coach put on a good game plan for us, and everything just went good.
Vincent, can you talk about the adjustment that they made? You guys dominated defensively in the first half, and then their quarterback had 180 yards, I think, 100 something in the third quarter. What did they do different?
Well, they used the tight ends and the wings to actually chip off of the DNs, and they also, they did a lot of sprint out, so that caused a lot of confusion between the D line.
Talk about that last drive they had. What was going through your mind, especially that last play?
Well, what was going through my mind was just get to the quarterback fast as I can.
Can you talk about your feeling after the zeros went up?
It was a great feeling. I was just, really excited. Really glad that we did it because we gave our all for the win.
Vincent, since you started at the microphone, it's kind of seemed like Thanksgiving dinner back there for the backfield for you guys. 6 sacks on the game. I mean, when you weren't getting to the quarterback, you were still back there with him. But, pressure on him most of the game. Tell us about, what you guys saw, what you were able to do, and how you were able to keep that pressure on throughout the whole game.
Well, we knew this quarterback was a great, passer, and we just, wanted to always affect his throw, by having to raise it, or turn his arm. We was just thinking maybe we just keep getting pressure, keep forming the pocket, and keep him on his toes.
Jaleel, we'll pass the mic down to you. Today you became the first Mountain East Conference player, first NDC player to clutch 2,000 yards. Can you just kind of talk about your freshman season in general and how today went for you? What were you seeing today?
My freshman season, I don't know, it's outstanding. It's outstanding when you work hard for something and then your dreams and things, they just start to come true because how hard you work. So that's how I just look at my freshman season, and then I just think about the offensive line, they treat me like I'm their little brother. They call me Little J. So that's love, and becoming the first player to clinch 2,000 yards, that's great. That's great. I just want to do more for my offensive line because they need this. They need the recognition that everyone is giving me. You know what I mean? I like the recognition, but they need some also. So I just give it all to them. Give all the yards I got to them because I go untouched and things like that because of them. So because of how hard they're working also. So and also the receivers. You see the receivers blocking 15, 20 yards down the field, 30 yards down the field, and you're just like, oh man, you know what I mean? You see that, and that's great. So just give it to the offensive line, and the receivers also, they block great.
Jaleel, you had started like a ball out on fire that first quarter. Then they kind of followed you up, but then when you had to get the tough yards in the fourth quarter, you seemed like you really came alive. Was it a tough game for you after that first quarter?
I wouldn't say a tough game, but I just had to adjust a little bit. I had to adjust because once you see something working, and then they do something to change it, then it's like, you know, you got to change what you're doing also. So that's what I just took initiative to, and just started. I knew that I had to change what I was doing because they changed up what they were doing in the first quarter. So I mean, I just tried to change things up as the game went on. I didn't go with my first instinct. I just played ball.
Jaleel, if someone would have told you last year when you were a high school senior you would have 2,000 yards and your team would be in the NCAA quarterfinals, what would you have said? If someone told you that.
I probably would have said they're crazy, but I mean, I don't know. I really don't know. Yeah, I probably would have said they were crazy, to be honest. It's a crazy moment.
Mike, you got your team in the NCAA quarterfinals. You know, what can you say about this team? You know, the way the season has played out so far.
I just can't say enough about their work ethic. Again, I've mentioned it a handful of times. I am not the easiest guy to play for. I'm awfully demanding of these kids, and almost to the point where, you know, it gets a little ridiculous sometimes. But, you know, I think when we're looking for the small margins on what maybe had kept us out of the playoffs the last 2 years, because we've been close, 9-2 and 16, and then 8-3 last year. You know, it's those small margins, and it can be, you know, finishing the block by the wide receiver on the backside of a long run that keeps it from being a 80-yard run or a touchdown. And you know, we've concentrated on those. These kids have bought into our process and how we do things, and you know, they come to work every day. I don't have to beg them very often to practice hard and read their keys and do all the little things right, and that's been the biggest difference for us. And for me as a coach to see, you know, what I expect come out in the team leadership and from the leaders and from the kids, the buy-in, the level of buy-in is what I'm most proud of. But these kids come to work and they're fantastic to coach.
Coach, Hillsdale known as a second half program.
Sure.
You guys seemed in control in the first half. And sure enough, come out of half, and then they really seemed to take control. The momentum swung their way. But that being said, you guys have been a fourth quarter team this season. Comeback wins against Charleston and Wise coming down the stretch to get into the postseason. So talk to us about the mindset on the sideline, the emotions on the sideline, and how the team's fighting through it as that momentum was swinging in the first half.
You know, we talk about a 60-minute game against a good opponent. It's always going to be a little bit like a roller coaster, man. We go out there expecting to play well, but you have to understand that the game's going to ebb and flow, and there are going to be some highs and lows. And you know, I thought our defense was lights out today. That's as good of a team offensively that we've seen on film. You know, the quarterback was a D1 transfer at one point. He's a fantastic player. And that wideout, the Brock kid has been doing it for 4 years for him. And so we knew we were going to have a challenge. I thought our defensive line, I think we held them to -2 yards rushing today to make them one-dimensional. And the way our defensive backs played, they had a couple big plays in the pass game, which you almost know they're going to get because of what they do. But I thought we stayed the course, and you know, we always talk about the most important play being the next play. It's an old Cooper thing, and that's really the mindset that we have. Though you can't even think about it. You got to have short-term memory, and with the way that our kids have bought in and the way that they work and some of the games that we've had, I think it's prepared us to be in close games like that and know that we're never out of it. You know.
And Mike, you know, you're in the quarters now, but you're going to have this game at home. Just the luxury of not having to travel, and how important it is on game day for getting a win.
It's huge because I'm still the guy that handles the travel, so it lightens my load a little bit that way from a work standpoint, selfishly. But I can't say enough. The number of former players here that came here when this place didn't have a home football field, when that field was an apple orchard, and fought through playing at high schools and doing some of that. It's as much of a win for them, and to be able to come back at home with our family and our friends and do it all over again next week is big time, and we're excited, and we're going to be ready for the challenge.
Anything else?
Congratulations.
Thanks, guys. We appreciate it.